I'm standing in Glastonbury Abbey. They have two pools here with big carp. This was a way in medieval times of keeping the fish fresh, so they didn't have to travel long distances. There's one here and there's one over the other side, because they had to keep the pike separate because they would eat the other fish. This is a magical green space. And before Christianity came to it, Inniswydrin as it was known then, this was the place of the Druid University. And for thousands of years before, men and women from around the world were drawn by the ley lines to study in this place. The Tor is within view from the Abbey over there, but it has a serene, magical energy, all of its own. The heart and soul of its town. The land is the most important thing in Avalon, but the Abbey land is also very important, although now we associate it with Christianity and the Christ story and Joseph Arimathea. This was here long before, and honoured and revered by the Druid culture, and those who came before the Druid culture, whoever they were, for we do not know. The labyrinth on the Tor was carved 10,000 years ago. The Druid culture came into Britain around 2000 BC from the Belgae tribe, and the word Druid means Durid, tree wives. If any of you have watched Game of Thrones, this is where the Meisters come from. They went to the high set to study, and they would come here and study for 21 years. 7 years listening to the stories, 7 years telling the stories, 7 years preparing themselves to go out on the land and spread the word of the trees, of the gods, of the ancestors. As I walk this way now, we are going past the ruins. This abbey was the home to many, many people over time. Pilgrims, the lost, the poor, the starving. Monks would come here and shut themselves into solitude, into prayer. It has a sacred, holy energy. I myself talk to a spirit, the spirit of a monk from long ago called Ambrose. Whether that's a ghost from the past, a past life, or just an aspect of me that is woken up when I walk on this old ground, that is not for me to know. But when he appears, I trust his guidance. But also the legend of King Arthur is associated with this place. In the legend, he dies in Avalon. Well, this is Avalon, Avalach, the old Welsh name, which means the Isle of Apples. But here in Glastonbury Abbey, which means the Isle of Glass, where we see between the worlds, this is where he is said to have been buried, and his grave was found here at the high altar and moved to the place where there's a plaque now. Whether you believe in myths and legends, people from around the world come here to show homage, to stand in the energy that is Arthur and Guinevere. This is the ruin of the old temple, the abbey itself. Here there is a plaque honouring Arthur and Guinevere. Pause and read if you wish. But there's also another grave at this place, a very holy place, and a very holy grave of a very important person. His name was Edmund Ironside, one of the greatest warrior kings to ever rule in England. His arch enemy was Canute the Great, and their first battle, Edmund was only 15. And he was finally assassinated at age 27. And he was brought here to be buried at Glastonbury Abbey. And Canute the Great himself turned up for the funeral, laid his revered peacock cloak over the coffin, and said he was the greatest foe he had ever known. But this man is forgotten. to please spread his word.